Power scaling JoJo is an interesting concept to say the least. My favorite stuff about the power system that JoJo holds is that it's a triangle kind of power system that brings the simplicity of Shonen Jump's one-dimensional way of portraying power system into their stories. In a normal shonen, it means that if an X character can defeat a Y character and that a Y character can defeat a Z character, that means that the X character can defeat the Z character as well. But in JoJo doesn't work like that. One character can defeat a character, but the same character who can defeat another character can be defeated by the original character or in reverse, because every single power is individual and it works in a triangle. That is the definition of a triangle power system. So ranking JoJo from power scaling is extremely complex, but nevertheless it hasn't been done before on YouTube. It's literally an overused thing that has been done for years, but most of them include two characters, but there are videos that include a lot. And there are videos that I agree with and disagree with, so I thought I'd take my own shot on this. I am pretty sure that I can't make everyone happy, so I have to mention that this is my perspective. Thank you. Here we go. This is gonna be extremely complex and in a way hypocritical of the triangle system, but I'm gonna try to make it as more convenient for you guys. Oh yeah, this will include spoilers until the end of part 7, so if you haven't watched or read till the end of part 7, make sure to do that before you watch this video. We gotta understand that a lot of JoJo is based on situation. For example, Johnny Joestar by the end of part 7 is one of the strongest JoJo characters by far. He becomes so powerful that he can defeat entirety of characters all together coming at him. But his situation is very situational. He needs a lot of time for the setup of him to work, and it's a pretty complex way of him fight. So when we rank these, we have to understand that it has to be in that situation specifically. So somebody will be, well, this character can beat this character 1 times out of 5. So why is he higher? Because in that 1 time out of 5 he will be a winner, if that makes sense. That is the way I'm basing this video. Let's go. At the last place we have Act 1 Johnny. Before Johnny got that strong, as I mentioned before, he actually used to be the weakest Joestar. Act 1 Johnny, Act 1 Tusk Johnny is the weakest Joestar. And it's kinda interesting because his progression is the coolest, because he went from the literal weakest to the strongest. Besides Jonathan, which we start to see him as a kid in the beginning of part 1, every single JoJo is relatively pretty strong at the beginning of their part. Some of them get extremely strong later on, like Johnny and Giorno, some of them don't. But Johnny at the beginning of the part is by far the weakest. He can be even defeated by Hamon users. That's pretty rare. Next one is between two of the Hamon users. It's either gonna be Jonathan or Joseph. So who is stronger, Jonathan or Joseph Joestar? In most other ranking videos I saw people saying that Jonathan is stronger than Joseph, and their basis is extremely logical because Jonathan is bigger than Joseph, buffer than Joseph, and it's thought that his Hamon would work better. As well, it's thought that in a cage fight 1 versus 1, Jonathan will rip Joseph apart. Not just Joseph, but all of the JoJos together, because Jonathan is very big. Like compared to any JoJo, like all of the JoJo's bodies together are one Jonathan. Just that's how buff Jonathan is. Like you don't understand how big the guy is. But I believe that Joseph Joestar would win a fight against Jonathan. And this is even in part 2. And that has to do with the Joseph, Joestar, and Hermit Purple theory. So we all know in part 2 Joseph's iconic way of saying your next line is, and being overly smart and confident in his battles. He is like a genius in a way, but he's really not. He isn't even the smartest JoJo in any way. In fact, he is the dumbest. But how is he that strong? In an interview, Araki stated that if the Stardust Crusaders went till in the Battle Tendencies timeline, they would see Hermit Purple around his body. And yes, stand existed at the time. So Joseph had a stand, but they were unconscious to the user. Joseph Hermit Purple abilities to read other people's minds. So that explains your next line is, and in a way, there isn't one singular non-stand user that could have beat Joseph Joestar. So by practical means, he is the strongest human without a stand. And I do believe that he will defeat Jonathan Joestar. So yes, the line goes so far: Act 1 Johnny, Jonathan Joestar, Joseph Joestar. Jonathan is weaker than Joseph, and Joseph is stronger than Jonathan. Next up, we have none other than Act 2 Johnny. Act 2 Johnny gets pretty buff, to be honest, and his abilities are pretty undervalued. He can pretty much defeat everyone under this list. And Joseph's Hermit Purple doesn't work on stand users, if that is clear, because once you see Hermit Purple, there is no risk from it. That is what I meant when I said that the strongest human without a stand can be Joseph Joestar practically. Interesting way the JoJo goes about it. After Johnny's Act 2, there is Jolene Kuja. She's pretty powerful, like god damn she's powerful. When you think about it, compared to other JoJo characters, she's very high on the list. But compared to other JoJos, this is how far she gets, and it's pretty impressive to be honest. Her stand is pretty cool as well, but it's not made for straight up combat. I don't believe that she can defeat JoJos higher than this, like 1 in 5 times or 1 in 10 times, but practically speaking, she is in this list and in this position. So the list so far goes: at the bottom we have Act 1 Johnny, followed by Jonathan Joestar, and leaded by Joseph Joestar. Higher than that we have Act 2 Johnny, followed by Jolene Kujo. And now we get to some real stuff, the real meat of the video. Followed up by none other than Josuke Kashikara, followed up by none other than Giorno Giovanna. To clarify, we are talking about the Giorno in the beginning of part 5, and I do believe that this Giorno and Josuke are the two JoJos with the most similar power. It all ends up to creativity, so the fight is determined by creativity, details, and individuality. I mean, literally both of their powers do the same thing, they heal stuff, but Giorno's more is that they give life to stuff. Josuke can use his immediate power in the fighting style to give himself an advantage over the opponent, mostly about the movement and placing himself in the battle, because ultimately the hitting part is the same. But I do believe that Giorno and his power is more versatile, and he can do the same thing that Josuke can do, but in more places, and is just better for fights. I do believe that Josuke can defeat Giorno in the beginning of part 5. I'd say 1 in like 3-4 times, but I do believe that Giorno wins most of the time based on pure strategy, better versatility of their stand, and ultimately just a greater way of looking stuff. So this is a huge deal because for what I saw, a lot of the YouTube channels that do this ranking are all about putting Josuke over beginning of part 5 Giorno, but I do believe that different. So yeah, let's update this thing. At the bottom we had Act 1 Johnny, followed by Jonathan. At the top of the bottom we have Joseph. Over them we have Act 2 Johnny, Jolene. Over them we have at the bottom Josuke 4, followed by Giorno Giovanna, and followed by Johnny Act 3, which additionally enough it's extremely powerful on its own. I don't even need to talk about this because I know that despite giving a spoiler warning, there might be some people here without watching or reading that part, so I'm just gonna give the benefits of the doubt, so I'm not gonna spoil that part. And after that we have Josuke 8. I don't really get to talk about Jojolian a lot, but Josuke 8 is the top of the top in here. After that, we have Jotaro. Jotaro is extremely strong. Even for JoJo standards, he's extremely strong. Jotaro is considered at his prime at the end of part 3, when his time stop ability was the most powerful part of him and was the longest in seconds at the end of part 3. Also, he was primed by being young. He surely improved in experience later on, especially at part 6, but his original power is weakened and strong, weak, a lot of time through the entirety of the series. We can see that in part 4 especially, but extremely interesting. He still remains as one of the strongest characters in JoJo, and despite being a very extremely popular strong character in JoJo and defeating the big boss of JoJo, he still remains to be a very high rated Joestar in terms of power. Above Jotaro is Johnny Act 4. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, Johnny Act 4 is broken, like broken. It is absolutely dumb crazy powerful, like dumb crazy powerful. And if this was like a normal tier of videos, like Johnny, like he's just too strong, man, just too strong, that's all, too strong. And at the end, as expected from many of you, the strongest character in canon JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is none other than Giorno Giovanna. So by this is made to be the strongest JoJo, and I'm talking about by the end of part 5, Giorno Giovanna gets his butt of power called Gold Experience Requiem, and Gold Experience Requiem is single-handedly the strongest in all of JoJo, and the strongest JoJo is made Giorno Giovanna with Gold Experience Requiem by the end of part 5. Pretty logical, it makes sense to me, it makes sense to you, should make sense to you, and this is pretty much it. Giorno with a Gold Experience Requiem is a dumb powerful, like extremely dumb powerful. He can manipulate reality to his will to the point that he can return every attack to zero. The infinite death loop alone can defeat pretty much every single character coming at him. Like, Gold Experience Requiem is so powerful that can pretty much defeat every single JoJo character previously to that coming at him together. That's how powerful it can be. It is dumb broke. Like stuff as time stop or time skip or time eraser, it just doesn't work on him. He's just like that good. So ultimately speaking, we have him at the top. But there is one other JoJo, an unspoken JoJo as well, that is more powerful, and that is Shizuka Joestar. You forgot about her, I didn't. What is she so special? Through the entirety of this video, she was creeping here, on and off, just being around. Like, rewind time? Like she was here. Here. You might have noticed her, I noticed her, you might have not noticed her, but for sure I did notice her. And what does that mean? It simply means that she is broken. Her ability to stay invisible, because Shizuka Joestar is the invisible lady from part 4, which was adopted by Joseph, and she became a Joestar, remember that? So technically she's just as much of a Joestar as Joestar is. So technically she's a Joestar, and she's the most powerful because she can just go around and killing people because she is invisible. I can imagine someone in the comments actually thinking I was being serious about that, oh my god. Anyway, that was the video, and I used a simple tier list, basic of ranking that I got inspired by the video in the screen right now by Caleb. Caleb did a great job, but I disagree with some of his minor ranking and some of the stuff he did in the video. And I wanted to make this video for a while, like this was thought like at least a year ago, but I didn't because I didn't really feel comfortable about doing a power scaling video around JoJo. But this has, I promise, this has something deeper to it, which you're gonna see in a couple of days. And thank you for watching this video. This is in the screen right now. You can see the total ranking. At the end we have Act 1 Johnny, Jonathan Joestar, Joseph Joestar, followed by Act 2 Johnny, Jolene Kujo, followed up by Josuke Higashigara, Jarna Giovanna, Act 3 Johnny, Josuke 8, followed up by Jotaro Kujo, followed up by Johnny Act 4, and ending up with Jarna Giovanna Gold Experience Requiem and the part 5 journal. Thank you for watching this video, it means a lot. I want to hear if you want to see this special video about the villains as well, because I'm sure that there are other videos on YouTube talking about the villains ranking, but I will find something to disagree on just to make a video, because I have a bigger point to make up with these videos, which you're going to see in a couple of days. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. Make sure to be subscribed, liked, everything around. Love you guys. See ya!